G'day folks, so if you recall I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago about the Skydio 2 drone. The Skydio 2 drone was launched in the fall with pre-orders. They started shipping near the end of November, early December. My Skydio drone arrived just before Christmas. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of the accessories I had added when I purchased it, when I completed the purchase. So all my accessories arrived yesterday, so we're going to take a look at them one at a time. That way if you're thinking about pre-ordering the Skydio, you might know which ones you want to add to your cart when you check out. So let's just jump right in and take a look. So yeah, all my accessories are here now. We've got the controller, we've got the beacon, I've got 2 extra batteries, we've got the dual charger, extra props, and we've got 2 sets of ND filters. The other thing I did get in is the hard case that Skydio is selling, but I'm going to save it for a separate video, and that way we can kind of go over it more in detail. Now, just for those who aren't aware, when you purchase the Skydio drone, it has a price tag of $9.99, and that's just for the base kit. For that price, you get the drone, 1 battery, a charging cable, and basically a small little case. Any of the other accessories you do have to purchase separately, including the remote controller. If you do want a remote for it, that is a separate purchase. In a way, it's kind of good that they did it this way. If they had included the controller or the beacon in with the drone, the price would have been higher, and not everybody wants those accessories. Some people are buying the Skydio and they just want the beacon. Other people just want the controller. In this way, the system is kind of modular and you just order the components that you want. So let's just kind of go through things here one at a time, and we'll just take a quick look at it. So we'll start with the batteries here. This is how they're packaged. The Skydio 2 battery is only rated for 22 or 23 minutes, something like that, but in real world conditions, you're only going to get maybe 15 to 17 minutes out of it. So I thought 4 batteries was a good amount to have. So you can see here's the battery, and we've got the second battery here. So I'm not going to bother opening the extra propeller sets. They're $29 for a set of 4. And the Skydio does come with 2 spares already, so these are something that you may not even need to order. Now, the Skydio 2 is supposed to be a crash-proof drone, so in theory you should never need extra propellers, but thought I would order some just in case. The thing with the Skydio, it's still very new, and it'll be probably a long time before you can ever buy props like this on Amazon or other retail stores. Right now you can only order this stuff from the Skydio website. I didn't want to take a chance and maybe need propellers and have to wait a month before I can get my drone back up in the air. So we'll just set those aside. I'm not going to bother opening them right now. Now this here is the beacon. It's like a little hand controller, and it has a couple purposes. The first thing the beacon does is give you better range. If you're doing any kind of tracking with just your smartphone, connecting via the beacon will extend your range. But it also allows the drone to track you when it loses visual sight of you. There's GPS in the beacon, and that allows the drone to follow the GPS signal. Now the drone may not be locked onto you anymore, and it might be shooting in some weird direction, but at least it can still stay up with you, and that way when it can visually see you again, say you've gone into a bushy area, once you're out in the open again, then it will lock back onto you. The beacon is one of those things that if you're going to be using this drone for a lot of tracking, if that's your primary reason for purchasing it, then definitely the beacon is something you're going to want to have. If you're buying the drone and you're just going to fly it traditionally with a controller, you don't plan on doing a lot of tracking, the beacon is probably something you won't really make use of too much, so you could probably go ahead and skip it. You can see here we got a little instruction book. And we have the beacon here. It's a pretty simple device, not a lot of buttons on it, but that's good because you can change settings on the fly very easily, even when you're in motion. So let's set that aside and we'll continue. The next item here is the dual charger, and basically this allows you to charge 2 batteries at the same time. Now the dual charger is one of those accessories that I probably would recommend. I know for myself it'll be very important, especially with 4 batteries. The only way to charge these batteries if you don't have the dual charger is by connecting them to the drone and plugging the drone directly into the charger. So that's really not an ideal situation. You can see here again we have an instruction manual. And that's it. So you can see here a very simple device, USB-C on the side, so you would use the USB-C cable that comes with your Skydio drone to plug it in and charge it. And just like the drone, you can see here the batteries connect to it magnetically, just like that. Now I'm not sure if this dual charger charges both batteries at the exact same time, or if it works similar to the DJI multi-chargers where it charges 1 battery at a time. Let's go ahead and we'll plug it in and we'll see what it does. So when you purchase the Skydio drone, this is what you get with it. USB-C cable. It's a nice heavy-duty USB-C cable, and you get this powerful charger. So this is what we're going to be using to connect to the dual charger. Now I must apologize here, I can't quite get it into frame. The cord's just not long enough. But as you can see here, this bottom battery is charging. The top one's not. So I'm assuming now that means that it is just like the DJI chargers where it charges 1 at a time. So yeah, it looks like it only does 1 battery at a time, just like the DJI chargers, but definitely it still is a very handy accessory to have because you don't have to charge up all your batteries by plugging in your drone every time. So now let's take a look at the remote here. can see there's the remote there. Something in the bottom. In the bottom of the box are the cables that we use to connect the remote to our smartphone. There's two cables in there, a USB-C to USB-C and a USB-C to Lightning, so depending whether you're using an Android device or an iPhone. So here's the remote here. We'll take a closer look at it. You can see we've got some buttons at the back, some paddles. To power it on, you just open it up. You can see there it powers on. Now you're probably thinking that this looks very similar to the Anafi remote for the Parrot Anafi, and in fact it is. It's the exact same remote. Skydio worked some kind of deal with Parrot to use their Anafi remote for the Skydio 2. Of course it has all the Skydio software in there for controlling the Skydio, and it will not work with the Parrot Anafi. And vice versa, the Parrot Anafi remote will not work with the Skydio drone. Can't really say too much about how it works yet. Definitely, just by holding it, you can feel it's not as high quality as the DJI remotes. These paddles here at the back are a little bit different than what I'm used to. All the DJI remotes for controlling camera movement is done by a dial at the back, so that'll take a little bit of getting used to. But I'm glad that finally arrived, so I can test my Skydio properly. So lastly here, I've got some ND filters. I got a set by Polar Pro, and I also have a set from Freewell gear. Both Freewell and Polar Pro make excellent ND filters. Now the main difference here is the ones by Polar Pro only have 3 ND filters. They have an ND8, ND16, and ND32. The Freewell gear is the all-day pack. It has an ND4, ND8, ND16. It has a circular polarizer, and then it goes from an ND8 with polarizer, ND16 with polarizer, ND32 with polarizer, and an ND64 with polarizer. So you do have a lot more flexibility with the Freewell set. We're just going to open them up here and take a look at them and see how they connect to the drone. So you can see we have the set here. And I do believe these just clip on magnetically as well. There's nothing you need to attach to it. Let's open up the Polar Pro ones here. Now this is part of the Polar Pro Cinema series, so they use a really high quality glass. So I've got the drone here, so we're just going to see how these connect. And as you can see, yep, they just clip on magnetically just like that. We'll also test one of the Freewell gear sets. Yep. They just clip on magnetically. Now I know there might be some people wondering that because these are magnetic and they clip on magnetically, and also the fact that the battery is held on magnetically, if all these magnetic connections are going to interfere with the compass. But that's where the Skydio was actually quite different than traditional drones like say from DJI. You can see here we have the vision system. We have 3 cameras at the top, and we have 3 cameras at the bottom. The Skydio 2 drone doesn't rely on a compass for navigation. It uses its own vision system and autonomy engine to navigate through the world. So the nice benefit to that is big metal structures will not interfere with the drone at all, and you never have to calibrate the compass. That's one beauty thing of the Skydio drone, that if you want to fly, say, under a bridge or through a big metal object like a steel trestle, a traditional drone that relies solely on its compass and GPS for navigation can go haywire in large metal structures. Skydio 2 drone can fly through it with no problem. So yeah folks, these are all the accessories for the Skydio 2 drone. Again, I just did this video for those who might be pre-ordering the Skydio and maybe are interested in ordering some of the accessories. You can get a better, closer look at them to see what is maybe of interest to you. Now just keep in mind with the Skydio 2 drone, if you do go to pre-order one, right now they just have a reservation system. They are made in such small quantities and there's such a high demand for them. They ship out in batches, and right now if you were to order one today, you probably wouldn't be getting it till sometime in the summertime, maybe even end of summer. Now that's not to say that they're not going to change the way they manufacture them and really ramp things up. Then you might get it a little bit sooner. I'll be having a full review of it probably in a couple weeks once I've had a good amount of time to fly it and let you know what my final thoughts are of it. Well folks, thanks a lot for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.